Hey friends, it's Eunice of Electric Eunice, and I'm so excited to come to you today because my watercolor instructional book, Watercolor Botanicals, releases very, very soon. If you're watching this video after April 7th, that means it's already released, so you can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, maybe your local bookstore, and many other places. First, I'm calling all crazy plant people like me because I teach over 22 different types of leaves, flowers, tropical plants, desert plants, all sorts of things in here. So you're gonna love it, I hope, as much as I do. One of the biggest questions I've been getting is, what tools or materials do you need to get started with this book? And you're in luck because that's what this video is about. So let's get started with what you're going to need. In my book, I actually talk about the Watercolor Toolkit, and that's basically the set that you need for the whole book. So everything that I talk about in this video is all that you need to follow every single project or tutorial. So the first thing I want to talk about is watercolor paints. In my book, I talk about different types of watercolor paints and also different levels or grays of watercolor paints. It's totally up to you what you want to get based on your budget and based on your preference. I here have Winsor & Newton Cotman tube watercolors, and I also have Daler & Rowney's Aquafine tube watercolors. So what I do with these is I have a folding palette and I squeeze the paints into these little wells, and then you can actually use these bigger wells to mix your paints in. So this is what my actual palette looks like. It's crazy looking. Crazy, good crazy, right? Beautiful crazy. So that's just my preference. I like to use tube watercolors with the folding palette. The next paint item is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. This is the most opaque water-based white paint out there. I swear by it. A lot of artists do. I love it so much, and it's worth it to get a whole jar. The next thing I want to talk about are your brushes. So I have here a size 4 round watercolor brush. It's from Princeton Company, and it's their heritage line. Size 4 is what I paint with on the daily, so I wanted to make sure that each of you got one of these to go with your book. And then I also have a size 1 round here. In my book, I talk about using a size 0. Size 1 or size 0 will work as long as you have a small size round brush for your details. The next thing I have here are a mechanical pencil and an eraser. Any pencil will do, honestly. I just really like mechanical pencils. I have the TWSBI Junior Pagoda mechanical pencil here. And then I actually have Tombo's Mono Zero eraser. It's a small eraser that can get into different little corners. I just love this one. Of course, I will link everything and list everything below in the description so you can check it out. But these are my favorite. You can use whatever you have at home. I also have just a plastic 12-inch ruler. And then I also have washi tape. Washi tape or painter's tape works. This is what you're going to use to create borders on your watercolor paper. I got this washi tape from like a dollar store, so you can get washi tape anywhere. Any washi tape will do. The next thing I'm going to talk about is watercolor papers. So here I have Strathmore 300 series 140-pound cold press watercolor paper. You're probably wondering, like, what does this mean? There's so many numbers in that. I do explain watercolor paper grades, types, all sorts of things in my book as well, so don't worry. But I would pick up, as long as you get a cold press pack of watercolor paper, you are good to go. Preferably a 9x12 that comes either in a pad or a block would be amazing. The next thing I have here is a jar with water to clean your brush, and also water is probably the most important part of this whole thing. The paints won't work without the water. So make sure you have a jar with water, and maybe a sink close by is really helpful. Next tip is, don't drink this water. It's happened to me before plenty of times, so just try not to drink this water. The next thing I have here is a paper towel. This is what you're going to use to clean your brushes with in between colors, maybe clean some spills with. I'm not going to lie, I usually have a whole roll of paper towel at my desk because you just never know. So that is your watercolor toolkit. That is everything that you're going to need to paint with me in my book. I will list everything below, and I will also link everything so you can easily pick it up. Again, it's totally up to you what types of materials you want to buy as far as price and grade levels, things like that. You, do what's best for you. But I pretty much list at the basic form the types of things that you need. So it doesn't have to be the exact brands that I have. Again, it's totally up to you. So I'm so excited for you to get my book. Do let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I will see you guys very soon for more tutorials.